feel like I should get close to the mic for this.
Okay.
We talk about miniature golf, the exciting world thereof. On the 12th
It
hole
is
here,
the 12th
it's a
hole.
lovely 12th hole.
It's a terrible hole.
What would you rather be? I
I
mean,
feel
okay,
like
for you it's going to be the 19th, but
it would totally be the
we,
19th.
we have to make sure that people know we're here for the game and the sport, and we're supporting those things
The
at Mossy
strategy.
Creek. Strategy, our good friend Danny, we are cheering on immensely, but we wish all of the golfers well this weekend.
We do.
But
We hope they win really big and do really
hey,
well.
keep your voice down. Keep your
Oh,
voice down.
this is why I didn't go into mini golf. It's the only reason. It's my voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would have totally done it for the scores
Exactly. Oh,
and the
please,
visors.
say more visors than you could throw a stick at, and that's
Yeah,
what's important to talk about.
right.
Are the
It's not throwing sticks, although I have thrown
exact
sticks playing mini
you
golf.
have, yes, and visors, and but I think we're certainly cheering on every competitor this weekend at Mossy Creek, wishing them the best.
Yes.
Uh, but perhaps a little bit more, we're wishing Danny just a small modicum of more
Well,
success than some of the others.
a lot more because he named it.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to spoil the show,
Right, but
but
we
yeah,
have reasons to play favorites,
yes. And
apart from
so
the
should
fact,
our listeners.
right, apart from the fact that he just called us back, which was very thoughtful of
Wow,
him.
that was thoughtful.
It is, you know. And then the
And
other thing we need to bring up, oh, what?
no go.
Okay. The other thing I think we need to bring up and point out to our listeners is that this is episode 99,
It
and
is
we're not one to rest on our laurels or pat ourselves on the back, but this is a time to celebrate
with
and a time to,
Love Balloons,
yes, 99 of them.
99 of them, and party like it's 1999
And Captain Kirk.
and Captain
Um,
Kirk.
but so as we're approaching episode 100, the show will be growing. Unfortunately, you will not be getting new hosts. Unfortunately, you will not be getting better interviews. But what we will be doing partially is offering a new newsletter
Hmm.
for those who are so inclined. A newsletter full of monthly recaps of the show, extra photos, extra news stories that fit
Some
the
special offers,
sure a swimsuit
discount,
issue. Wait, what?
some discount.
Yeah, discount. And I think the most important thing. Do you want to tell them the most important thing?
No, it's fine. You go right ahead.
You do it.
What if I say it too quietly? Nobody hears.
No, it's okay. You're close to the microphone. That's fine.
Well, there will be exclusive, never heard before content only for newsletter subscribers.
I know. And so, if you think you're part of a cool little club now, listening to this show and hearing these cool interviews, just wait. We are finding another tier of snobbery to make you better than the great unwashed masses. And are we Patreon? Are we asking for your money? No, not yet.
Nope.
We're going to win you over, and we'll ask for your money later. But right now, we're just asking for your email address. It's a monthly newsletter. It will have all sorts of goodness. Like you mentioned, we'll have a brand new interview. And we don't want to tell you who some of the interviews are, but they're good. They are very, very good.
They're very good.
Okay,
Very,
this is
very good.
an audio medium. They can't see you nodding. So you're going to have
I
to
said very good.
shut up. We're on the 12th hole.
I
You don't do. Okay, so I apologize to that for our listeners who were perhaps in the midst of a putt at that time. We are sorry,
Well, they probably got
but
to break their concentration if they're listening to us while they're putting.
that's true. But we would like to apologize to all of our golfing listeners. And our newsletter, it's coming out September 1st. So you can not drop your kids off at school that day and then check your email and read our newsletter. We'll have
Yes.
a great new episode. It will also, so I guess the question becomes, how do you get on this email list?
Well, I think you told them
Right?
already to just send their
Did,
email,
did I?
but you did. But,
Shh,
but,
keep your voice down.
no,
Yes.
this is important.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
important to know that we're not going to give your email address to any of our guests, to any of our
No,
sponsors, to no one. So you
no.
don't have to worry about
Mm-mm.
anybody sending you stuff other than us.
Right.
And we already feel that you get enough of us with at least one episode a week. So we're
Certainly.
only going to contact you once a month.
Once a month, that's a very good point. We're not going to spam you. If you think we're going to be sending you gummy butts by mail, we won't. We would like to,
Mhm.
but we won't.
Unless you
And
win gummy butts by mail someday in a
unless you, yes,
contest.
yeah, exactly. If you're really nice, maybe, perhaps.
Hmm.
So I think that covers everything
I
because
think so.
once we hit episode 100, we're going to hit send on the newsletter, and you want to be there for the first one because it's a goodie.
Yeah.
We've been working on it. It looks pretty.
Hmm.
It's pretty funny. There's a big picture of Chris Berman. Everything you would want in a newsletter, we
Anything
have.
anyone would want in the newsletter is there.
So if you go to our website, which you probably have bookmarked, but if you don't, whythepodcast.com,
Hmm.
not co.uk. We are not there
No, not yet.
yet, right?
Or you can
We should
email
see about
us at the
we should see about
podcast why.
buying that. Right.
We
Okay,
should.
sorry.
We
Yes.
should buy that, and we should buy the .au
Shh,
as well.
keep your yeah,
Oh, sorry.
definitely.
But you can also email us at thepodcastwhy@gmail.com, or
Yes.
you can just message us on Facebook too. Whatever is easiest.
We're friends. We're friends here. We're all
We're
together.
just sitting here whispering, having a good
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Enjoying the great day out here, Mossy Creek.
Hmm.
And so, yes, at the top of the website, there is the email form, or you can get in touch with us all a matter of ways.
Yes.
So, thank you for 99 episodes. I feel like even if this is your first time listening, thank you certainly to those of you who have listened to all 99, and we
Yes.
apologize. But thank you
We
as
don't
well,
apologize.
and shh, keep your voice down. And thank you as well to our guests who maybe this is episode 1 for you. Maybe it's episode 3. Maybe it's an even number episode for you. But we thank all of you. We love you, just not equally. And thank you for being a part of this little clubhouse of something.
Of, yeah, this fun.
Yeah.
This is Why, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
How many players are there on a average weekend on an average mini golf tournament?
Sure. So, around the country, there's tournaments happening all the time locally, but there are two national tournaments that happen each year that are sponsored by the USPMGA. So you have the U.S. Open of professional mini golf and the Masters of mini golf. The Masters of mini golf is held in Myrtle Beach every October, and the U.S. Open professional mini golf rotates around the country. So next year that'll be 2021 will be in Pennsylvania, and then in 2022 we'll be hosting it here in Tennessee.
And so this is just the Tennessee Open on the 29th, correct?
Right. Yeah. So this is just a regional tournament. This is to help us prepare for that larger national tournament coming up.
So, how did you get involved professionally with mini golf?
Well, I'm very passionate myself about golf. Enjoy it. When looking for something to do in our community here, mini golf was something that was inclusive to lots of people. You know, we have 3-year-olds play. The oldest person that's played our course is 95. It's a place to bring together families and groups, and this was a niche that we recognized early on that there was a community of folks that enjoyed traveling around the country and really trying to perfect playing these courses. And so when we're building the course, we wanted to make sure that it was something that was challenging, and something that, but still the recreational golfer would have a good time too. And so, pretty quickly after we opened, we reached out to the USPMGA and wanted them to take a look at potentially hosting an event here because we thought we had something special with the way it came together.
That's awesome.
And what are they looking for on a course? Because I couldn't help but notice the course I grew up playing on was called Liberty Golf, and there's nothing more enchanting. Made your heart fill with pride for America was when you hit the ball through Paul Revere's house and to the other side. I couldn't help but notice on your course there are no windmills, to say nothing of Paul Revere's house.
Yeah, you won't find many windmills on the pro circuit. They're looking for things that are repeatable. They very much want to be able to go and hit the 11th brick to the left, and that give them the result they're looking for. Part of what really makes these players special is they're willing to get out and work and learn the courses. I mean, we have had a number of players who have been out 3, 4, 5 times to the course, studying, mapping it out, developing their strategy. So there's a lot of passion that goes into this, where they're putting lots of hours in on the road. They're spending nights in hotels to get a weekend of practice, and so it's definitely a labor of love, but it's fun too. You know, we are a local course. We rely on our community coming out and playing, and they love seeing these professionals come in because they're trying to show them shots that they've learned, and then there's also they're learning from them too, and so that's a whole lot of fun.
So I'm sure you must get now. I will, full disclosure, I have complete mini golf putt rage.
Yes.
I am the John McEnroe. Shout out to our friend Pat McEnroe, who also has a podcast, of mini golf, but with none of the talent. So I believe and know and comprehend that mini golf is a very challenging sport. I would imagine there are a lot of people out there in the more traditional golf world, or not, who would say it's a kid's, it's not a real sport. How do you respond to accusations like that?
Well, let's be honest. I mean, I've seen some of the pros out there working on a hole for 30, 40 minutes practicing a shot, and then the 4-year-old come and just slam it and the ball goes in. Right. There's an element of luck. Part of the way that the professionals take that out of the equation is that, the Tennessee Open that's coming up is over 6 rounds. You're playing a lot of golf, and the skilled player is definitely going to rise to the top in that. Our national tournaments, they're at least 10 rounds, sometimes 12 rounds, depending on the course and how long it takes to play. And so there's definitely, there's the practice that goes in prior to the tournament, and then there's a playing golf over mini golf over two days, 10 rounds. That requires a lot of focus, and so that's a real challenge. And the players that are the best at it, they're going to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the weekend.
I don't want to beat this very small horse again and again, but how do the fans clap? Do they do the golf clap, or are they allowed to cheer at full volume?
There's probably not a consensus from the players of what they like. We want them to be involved. When we built the course, we have a large observation deck that goes the length of our final hole, and so we're excited to see fans leaning over the rail, oohing and on that last putt. We want the pros to feel that pressure of the fans kind of looking down on them, and we definitely kept that in mind when we were building the course, that we wanted it to be good to observe, be able to really see what these really talented players are doing. There's a lot of courses where you're in a cave, you're in some shrubbery back there. You don't really have a clear
Right.
view.
Yeah.
You can see what's going on in our course, and so that's and we've already had folks coming out and watching some of our local events, trying to pick up some tips, and so we're hoping they get into it.
But I would think that's got to make it easier because not everybody can play Augusta, but
Right.
everyone here can come to the tournament and they can then go and play on the Mossy Creek course and have the exact same challenges. And do you have sand traps and water holes? I mean,
Yeah,
all
so
that same stuff.
so we have sand traps that it's a carpet, but it simulates sand. You actually go down into it. It's you don't want to be there. Our signature hole number 13, is a pretty large uphill shot to a plateau, and if you don't get it, you're coming right back into the trap. And so there's been lots of rounds wrecked there. We've got a couple of holes that water come into play. Number 8 is an island green that you have an option to make a jump shot into, and so that's one of the best holes to view from the deck. And there's lots of options on that hole too. We tried to make it to where you have 2 or 3 choices on each hole on how to play it, and so it's fun to see how folks work that out. It's also maddening for the pros. They would love to just have one shot, hit that shot over and over again, know what they're going to do. One of the things that we did to make the course more challenging is that 8 of our holes actually have multiple cuts, and so we're able to move the insert around, and so it's really like playing a 24-hole course instead of an 18-hole course. So some of the players think that's very interesting. Others, they just see that as more work that they've got to put into to get it ready for the day. But it in the end, if you're going to have a national championship, we wanted it to be a real test.
Yeah.
No, seriously, suck on it, Augusta. What does a pro look like? I mean, is this a full-time job for people? Can you make enough on the sponsorships?
Not
Or are they all
normally.
small contracts?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
thank you.
like I said, that's a lot of passion. The purse for the U.S. Open that we've got coming up in 2022 is $15,000. That means the winner winner will take home right around 6, and so that's a good payday. But most of the time they're looking to just break even on the weekend, make a little money maybe, and have a good time. A lot of the players are bringing families with them. This is a little bit of a vacation, or maybe multiple vacations that we're coming out and practicing. And so we're excited to be bringing people to the Great Smoky Mountains, and you're really giving them an opportunity to enjoy this area. It's a beautiful place, and the bonus is some good golf.
What do you think it is that captivates people, both professionally and just the general population, so much with the game?
Well, there's something special about seeing that ball go in. I see it every night or out at the course where, like I said, that somebody discovers something new. We get to see so many first-time mini golfers, whether they are, the younger kids that haven't been down the course, or we built our course to be made for folks of all physical abilities. Had a person that was, I think she said she was in her 40s, but in a wheelchair, but was able to play a full round of golf. And that was totally empowering. And so that's what we're really all about. Is, you said, we're trying to be a community partner, and that means a lot of things. And so professional golf is just one very cool piece of it.
Is there a particular moment on the course, could be from a 4-year-old, from someone in a wheelchair, from a pro, that stands out in your mind as sort of the greatest sports moment on your course?
Well, we've got a deck. Like I talked about that observation deck, which also has a ramp. It's about a 60-foot ramp that goes down to the course. And we had a youngster throw a ball down on the plateau there and tap it, and it went all the way down and made it in on our first hole, about 90 feet. And there happened to be a good crowd there from our local college, and they went wild. And it's just one of those moments he'll remember for a long time, and we'll remember for a long time. And it's when you create the place, people find a way to really utilize it. And that was a pretty special moment.
That's amazing. So I need a personal, because clearly this bothers me, my rage and my reason for rage. So as a pro, as someone who's in the business, I had a moment on a course with my family where I hit the ball. It went down for a shot, skipped the hole on my hole,
Yep.
but went down and went right in the hole in another hole. So it was a hole in one, but on the wrong hole.
You have just created a trick shot. We love those. So you did something magical. You deserve a plaque
Thank you.
or a miniature trophy.
I love you.
Yeah. So we embrace the fun, and most of the pros realize that too. And so that shot that the 6-7-year-old made from the deck, the pros like trying that too. So awesome. So it's still about the fun. They really do enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong. I fully expect come August we're going to see some putter tosses and some not so family friendly words out there because they're serious. They're coming to play and win. But man, how better way to spend a weekend than playing some mini golf? So
that's fun. That's all. I feel so vindicated because my family told me that didn't count and I had to lose points.
Make your own rules.
Thank you. I'm going to go back to the course now.
As someone who has stood out on the fairway of life and looked over the course, what made you decide to go pro?
Total accident. It was a total and complete accident. Didn't see this coming. Job I used to work at, a lady brought in a flyer from our local mini golf course. Said they're putting together an industrial league. So, companies play against each other. I will play anything. I will play checkers right now if you want to play checkers because I'm that kind of person.
Like you know.
Yeah, there you go. So we joined. We made a team, and the league never really got going, but our team practiced, and we enjoyed it, and we kept going, and ended up playing in a local qualifier for a pro tournament in New Jersey. Played in that. I lost by a couple of strokes to a couple of pros that I didn't know. Came back, tried it again the next year, won, went to New Jersey, won $500 and decided then when I came home with $500, I'm going pro.
Yeah. And the rest they say is history. So have you felt good about that decision since then?
No, absolutely. It's actually been one of the better decisions in my life. Mainly out of, besides loving to compete, I get to, I've got to meet so many people from around the globe that I can now call friends. Some I call family because of my mini golf travels.
And what it is, I just realized we haven't really discussed the actual game because you said weekend. I'm assuming it's 18 holes. How do you win such a thing?
It is 18 holes, but it's 18 holes 6 times, and that's on the first day.
Oh.
So it's a Saturday and a Sunday tournament. So lots of tournaments have different formats. The one at the end of the month at Mossy Creek mini golf in Jefferson City, Tennessee, which is about an hour and a half from my house, is the first day. It's a straight up mini golf tournament. Top score wins, lowest score wins after 6 rounds. If you make the top 16 on Saturday, you get to play on Sunday in match play. And so you'll win some money on one day, some money on the other day, depending on how you're doing. But most you can come home with is $2,000.
So are there pro courses that look like a pirate ship?
There's look like a pirate ship and a spaceship and a volcano and a train and all kinds of stuff.
See, as long as the theme is still there.
Yeah, there's hope for us yet.
There is. Yeah. Is there a style that you've noticed with your friends from around the world? Like, do the Czechs play a little differently, or do the Swedes tend to do really well on the water holes? How does that work?
I wouldn't say that they do better on a certain type of hole. There is a little bit of a different style of play. I mean, everybody has a little bit of a different style and how we hold our putter or how our stroke is. I tend to lean way over the ball and kind of look down way over top of it. Other guys stand straight up. So it kind of just depends on individual preference and what you're comfortable with. But in Europe, they take it a little differently, and they have a different style. They play on concrete courses over there a lot. And so it's a different kind of style, and these different putters and different balls for different kinds of holes. So it's kind of a different game over there. It's the same but different.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming concrete plays faster than AstroTurf.
It does. It does. I have not had the pleasure of playing on a concrete course yet. I'd like to at some point, but that didn't happen this year. We were supposed to be in Europe this year, but that didn't happen. So.
And with PGA, not to compare the two, but obviously there's a lot of care of the course that is required, and that's a thing that you're trying to take into account with your shots. Do miniature golf courses vary as far as the speed of the turf and that sort of thing?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things is how old the carpet is on a hole. If the carpet is old and worn down, it can be a lot faster. If you have a brand new carpet that's been down for a month or two, you'll find yourself having to hit the ball harder to get it to the hole. It has to get worn down and get the lanes worn into it where people have been walking and where people have been hitting the ball, and just, you got to kind of break it in like a pair of shoes.
So do you have a signature shot or something you're known for in the sport?
I don't think I have a signature shot. One thing, there's two things that I do personally that I do when I hit a ball. One, when I hit my initial shot, my tee shot, I kind of hold my arm up like Yoda or Luke Skywalker, trying to make it stop or make it go further.
Yes.
It's goofy, but you hit it and you go, oh, I hit that too hard. Put your hand out and try to make the force.
Please
make
come
it
back.
Stop near the hole before it gets too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I do is after my first shot, I will never, ever walk between the ball and the hole. It's just a superstitious thing with me. I always want the ball to see where I want it to go. And I think if I walk between it, I'm ruining it.
Yeah,
I know it's goofy.
Oh, that makes total sense. Now that I'm going to start playing mini golf again, because I stopped playing for a story that we won't subject you to, but that might be the secret that could bring me back.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you have a bag of clubs? Or is it just one putter you play for all 18?
I keep one putter. I play with one putter, and I keep a backup in the car just in case some unforeseen thing will happen. I did have a putter break in a tournament one time. I accidentally just clicked it on the edge of a rock and didn't see it, and it cracked the face of my putter. So I learned to keep a backup in my car just in case. But no, one putter the whole way.
And talking about superstitions, is that lucky? Have you named it? Do you sleep with it?
How does your wife feel about that?
Exactly. No, I never have named my putter. I need to do that. You guys should help me name my putter. So I should do that. Although I'm thinking about getting a new one.
We will.
Because we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll send you a test.
We'll let you guys name it. Yeah. That's what I'll call it.
We're gonna name. Well, we always default to Flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
We name everything Flash.
I can do that. Flash is it.
Yes, that's awesome. We're so excited. There's a very sad basset hound that is suddenly very happy that you said that.
And when you're holding up, when you win at Tennessee or do they give you a normal size check or a very small one?
I've had both.
Oh, okay.
I've actually had both. Now the tournament I was talking about earlier, the qualifier to go to New Jersey and play in the pro tournament, they gave us a big check because they basically they paid for our trip to New Jersey. So we went up there and so they gave me a big check for that one. Other checks that I've won here and there over the years have all just been your standard check.
Well, as long as it clears.
Yeah. The big ones bounce more.
That's true. Well, it doesn't fit in that thing that, shoots
That's
your check
true.
over to the
Right.
bank teller.
And it doesn't fit when you try to take a picture of it either. It just,
That's right. Yeah.
it's terrible.
Make sure you get all 4 edges in the frame.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a Ben Hogan or a Tiger Woods of your sport?
We have a few. There's a couple of guys, one named Greg Newport, another one named Rick Baird. They both came from Putt, not mini golf.
Mhm.
Both of them have shot perfect 18s in Putt, which is the very best you can do.
Right.
And they did it about a year and a half apart. It's only been done 4 times in the history of the game. So I would call those 2 guys our Ben Hogan and Tiger Woods, because to do that is the ultimate goal.
Wow.
What is the difference between putt and mini golf?
So this is the other question that I get more than anything. Putt is a franchise, number one. So just like McDonald's or something like
We
that.
should never speak of them until they're sponsoring the show, but go on.
There you go. Yeah. So Putt is a franchise, and you'll see they'll have a lot of. They all look generally the same. There's some differences, but they'll have a general style: orange aluminum rails, ramps, very right-angled kind of courses. Whereas mini golf tends to be more swooping hills and bricks, rocks, those kind of thing, more of a natural look. So mini golf, I always say, seems like a tiny little, like a giant golf course, literally shrunk down to be mini. Whereas Putt is very, very angular and mathematic, that kind of thing. I've played them both professionally. I'm way better at mini golf than I am Putt, but Putt's fun.
Interesting. Have you played either one of those guys?
Many, many, many times.
So they're familiar with the target you put on their back.
They're tough to catch. They're always in the conversation at the major tournaments. And you might make a run at them for a little bit, and I'm going to make another run at them in October. But
right. Well, they're probably busy signing cards, and the kids.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Occasionally, they, you might catch somebody sign an autograph somewhere for a kid. Occasionally, it's kind of embarrassing, actually.
Really? Why? I think that's awesome.
It's funny.
Nobody asked for them, so
there you go. Yeah. I always joke I'm probably better known as a salesman than I am as a mini golfer, but
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, seriously. How do you balance that? How do you balance, beyond being a professional mini golfer, how do you balance everything else you're doing professionally?
The good thing is about the mini golf is there's a lot of local tournaments that keep you busy, so you don't have to travel as far. There's a lot of putt tournaments all over the East Coast. I don't travel to those because I can't balance it. So I have to be choosy where I decide and when I decide to play. So I play in a lot of local tournaments. I play in everything that Kyle has at Mossy Creek. And we have some here locally at our courses here, and I'll travel a good bit, but I always play in the US Open, wherever that is, and that moves around every year. And then I always play in the Masters in Myrtle Beach every year in October. So I kind of set those aside as my big ones and just stay sharp with the local tournaments. Because I am married, I do have children, I do have a full-time job, so it's only fair to sacrifice some of that to be with them. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to be away every weekend.
Right.
Do you ever still play just for fun? And will your family play with you, or do they refuse?
My family will play with me, and yes, I do play for fun. I do find it hard. Like if my wife and I go out of town for a weekend and we just play a fun round, I do find it hard not to want to hit the ball again on a hole and figure out the strategy. Like, oh, that hole didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Let me hit this one more time,
Yeah. Do you ever see? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying I always spot my 11-year-old. I always spot him 10 strokes to keep it, to keep it competitive, because I don't want him to get disappointed, because I want him to enjoy the game too. And I can't help but I don't want to give it to him, because I want him to
Right.
I want him to be competitive too. But at the same time, I don't want to destroy him and
Yeah.
kill his fire.
What do you normally shoot on an 18-hole course? What's your normal score?
Depends on the course.
Ballpark?
Ballpark, 18 holes, 32, 33.
Okay. Right.
Depending on where we're playing.
Yeah. I'd need those 10 points. Yeah. 15 maybe. Yeah.
There's a course in Pennsylvania where if you
Tell
break
me more.
40, there's a course in Pennsylvania. If you break 40, you've really, really accomplished something. It's at Putt U. And
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I love it already. My kind of place.
Yeah, my buddy Randy Block owns Putt U, and he's got 2 huge courses up there, and the holes are so long that there are holes, if you get a 3 or a 4, you're okay with it. You've done well. Generally anything is, we look at all holes as a 2.
Okay.
So you want a 2 on every hole or less, preferably less, but 2 is where you start. So
Yeah. And how are you doing this season?
well, COVID has reared its ugly head. So the season is pretty non-existent so far. Kyle's tournament at the end of the month is actually the first official tournament of the year.
Oh,
So
okay.
we will see. Yeah, we're supposed to have the U.S. Open in New Jersey. That did not happen.
Right.
And then I was supposed to be in Austria in June playing for Team USA, and that did not happen. And so Kyle's tournament at the end of the month is actually the first sanctioned one of the year. I've been playing in local tournaments, but that's just people getting together and playing mini golf, which is fun.
Right.
It's fine. I love it. It's all the same to me. But there's generally no money involved.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
When you get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Are you ever out there playing like for fun, and you see, let's say you're with your family again on vacation, you see a nice family at another hole. Do you ever say like, oh, we should play together, and pretend like you don't really know how to play, and then school them all and take their money and take the family out to dinner later?
Are you asking if he ever colors of money, these
Yes,
people? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, total hustler.
Yes,
Yeah.
or hustle. Yes.
Yes.
I
That's
hadn't thought of
exactly
that.
what I'm asking. That's what you should do in the off season.
Yeah.
I hadn't
Yeah, but you
thought
get
of
the
that.
wrong family, they'll break your fingers.
Well,
Well,
that's
there's
true.
that.
Yeah.
That's true. Good point.
My wife has a habit of pointing out to people, because generally I bring my own putter if I go somewhere, because I don't play with the course
Obviously.
putter.
Right.
Yeah.
And she'll have a habit of, it's always in the trunk.
Take
You never
flash
know where you'll find a
photos.
mini golf course. It's flashing in the trunk.
I love it.
But my wife has a habit of pointing out to other people that he's a pro mini golfer. And, she says it out of love, but she says it out of sarcasm, because I get to do things like this occasionally and get interviewed on a podcast or a newspaper or
Awesome.
whatever. So she always jokes that she's, married to a celebrity, and,
Right.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
yeah.
For more information on the U.S. Pro Mini Golf Association, visit prominigolf.com. For more information on Mossy Creek Miniature Golf, where the Tennessee State Open is being held this weekend, August 29th, go to puttmc.com. And for more information on Danny, you can follow him on Twitter, where he is at dannybaddeley.com.
Be sure to follow Why the Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and check out our YouTube channel for some additional great Why content. If you're so inclined, please leave us a review and let us know how we're doing.
Today's show was produced by myself and Heidi Hegquist. Our reluctant executive producers are John Sauvé and Sandy Stone. Our graphic designer is Samantha Mustonen. Our intern is Randy Jeanette. The theme song was performed by the Electrosyntho-Magnetic Polyphonic Orchestra. This one's for Philippe. Thanks for joining us. Flash, we're coming home.
Nigel, is that you? Are you here, Nigel?